Hey guys, it's Craig here. Last night I brewed a batch of beer, and here it is right here. You can see it's got quite the krausen ring there. Nice, great fermentation. And just before I started making the batch, I decided to pick up my camera and film it. So another brewing video. It's very last minute, so I didn't set anything special up as far as microphones or lighting or anything like that, so it's kind of crude. But hey, here it is. Let's check it out. This is my American Pale Ale using the hops that I got from Poland. Thanks to Pavel and Daniel for those, and let's check it out. Well, you can already hear the pot starting to come to a boil. I started this a little earlier because it does take a while. Over here I've got my ingredients. I have a can of Cooper's liquid malt extract, typical 3.3 pound can. I have 2 pounds of dry malt extract, light Briess dry malt extract, and I have 1 pound and 5 ounces of dextrose here. So that's about 1.3 pounds of dextrose. Why am I adding dextrose? Because when I did my calculations in the program I use, I didn't like the final gravity reading that I was getting, so I could have threw in more malt, but I want this beer to be a fairly light-bodied beer. So in order to increase the alcohol, I'm adding the dextrose. And guys, there's nothing wrong with adding dextrose to your beer. Just make sure you got a good amount of malt in there as well. Hops. I have 1 ounce of bittering hops. I'll put the names on the screen because I can't pronounce them. These hops I got from a couple of guys in Poland. Pavel and Daniel sent me these hops all the way from Poland, and so I'm going to try these. I'm going to do 1 ounce for 1 hour, so that's going to be our bittering. And I'm going to do 1 ounce split into 2 for flavor and aroma. Okay, so these are separate types of hops. These I'm going to add separately at separate times. Okay, all right, so that's that. I have a package of Cephale SO4, and I have a bag to put the hops in. That's all I've got here. Very, very simple American Pale Ale. Very easy. It's a step up from just doing a kit, and it's going to turn out just great. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, now that we've come to the boil, we will turn off the heat and grab our, as usual, I had the can of malt extract in hot water to soften it. I also sanitized my man's best friend, brewer's best friend, if I'm doing this way. So, yeah. Okay. And of course, as you know, turn off the heat because you don't want to caramelize the malt extract on the bottom of your pot, you see. So there we are. And I've also got a kettle boiling as well, so I can rinse the can out. This is just plain liquid malt extract, no hops added to this whatsoever, which is why I'm going to boil it. If you're making a beer kit that already has hops in it, then you don't want to boil it, because you're going to boil away the hop aromas. And they're not meant to be boiled, they've already been boiled, and everything's been done. But in this case, I have to boil it, because I have to isomerize my hops. I have to bitter my hops, and you can't do it in plain water, you got to do it in wort. So I've got about half the amount of water in here that I'm going to be using total. So I'm only adding the can, I'm not going to add the dry malt extract yet. I'll add that later, but this gives me about the same gravity. You can turn the heat back on now and bring us back to the boil. So give us about the same gravity that we're going to have in the end. And that's kind of what you want in order to do your hop bittering. These are going to boil for almost an hour. They're going to give off the bitter flavors and whatnot. So as soon as that comes back to a boil, there's my kettle. Also, I'll grab my can, give it a rinse. Actually, you know what you can do? It's easier to do. Is just grab some of the hot wort out of your pot. You can do that as well if you don't feel like boiling a kettle. You might drip some around, whatever, doesn't matter. You're waiting for it to come to the boil anyway. Again. That's fine. Stir. I'm getting better at not touching the can when it's hot like this. I'm starting to realize after 20 years of brewing, don't touch the hot can. Some of you have been watching to see whether I may still do it one day, but not today. Okay, we're getting to a boil, and I forgot to grab my spray can, my spray bottle, but I'm not going to walk away from this now to try and find it because this is crucial. This will be what you call a hot break, and I'm just going to ride it out here. Okay, well, I've got a boil, and I'm going to drop in my first addition of bittering hops, 1 ounce. See, look, it's starting to rise up, but we're fine. We'll control it. Wow, it smells really cool. A different hop smell than what I normally am used to. Similar but different. A little different. Different tone to it. Okay, so what we do now is we just keep one eye on that while we set a timer. Now that I've got myself a nice stable rolling boil, I've got my timer set for 60 minutes. Now I can go downstairs and get myself another beer. Okay? See you in a minute. This beer is chilled. I just pulled it out of my freezer. I'm probably one of the only people in the world with kegs that does not have a proper refrigeration. I have to put it in look, my pressure's low too, my serving pressure. But look, I'm still getting a huge head on it though. Look at that. That tiny serving pressure, and I'm still getting that. Oh yeah, it's a great beer. Still young though, but hey, I'm thirsty. Now the thing about this stage in the brewing, in this brewing process, is that you've got about 40 minutes before you have to do anything. So now's the best time to, like, hook up your wort chiller if you have one. Clean up a little bit. Go in and sanitize your fermenter, which I did. That's been done. My wort chiller is hooked up and ready. I have my next things I'm going to be putting in there right here with me here. My timer's going, and I've got about 15 more minutes left. If you don't do those things at this time, you're going to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off. At the end, you're going to be sweating your butt off, let's say. The other thing too is if you're going to rehydrate your yeast, which I'm not going to because mine just says to sprinkle it on the wort. That's what I'm going to do. But if you want to rehydrate your yeast, now's the time to get that ready and get the water to a certain temperature and do that, because otherwise, again, you'll be running, believe me, I've done it, running around like crazy at the last minute saying, oh shit, I forgot to do this, oh darn, I forgot to do that. So, make sure you get all that stuff done during that 40-minute time where you're normally just standing there drinking this while you're watching that, which is okay. Cheers. Okay, it's just before, the time has passed 21 minutes. There's 21 minutes and 17 seconds to go. And I want to add my next hop addition at 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is add my dry malt extract. I'm going to kill the heat. This is 2 pounds. Whoops. 2 pounds of dry malt extract. And you see how sticky that is. I'm just going to dip that quickly in to get the rest of that off there. Once it's all dissolved. In fact, you know, you can pull your hop bag out for just a moment. Got the hop break over with. We're going to grab we've lost about 4 or 5 minutes on our clock. So we have to take that into consideration. I'm going to put my hops, look at, you can see it's all gotten stuck to the inside of the bag there and stuff. Just make sure you get that all in there. I'm going to put my next ½ ounce of flavor hops in there. My first ½ ounce of flavor hops in there, sorry. This is at the 20-minute mark. We paused the clock for 5 minutes till we got our dry malt in there and we got the boil back, and our hop break is over with. And I know I should be using a separate bag for each hop addition, but I didn't have one. I thought I did, but I didn't. So we're just going to do what we've got here, you know, what we can with this thing. Try to spread them out as best we can. But if you can use separate bags, absolutely. You'll get better utilization. And the next thing I'm going to do now is put my wort chiller in. Let's get the final hop addition in here, and this is for 5 minutes. There, my microwave just beeped, but I added 5 minutes to the boil to compensate for when I took out the hops, to let the wort come back to a boil after I added the dry malt extract. So, you know, these are little adjustments you can make, and I just thought that was logical. So that's going to be 5 minutes right there. It's 24 Celsius, which is approximately 78 Fahrenheit. Okay, I've got my Safale SO4 here, and I'm going to pitch this. I'm actually going to leave that in there because I'll be pitching it on top of the foam, and then I'm going to wait about 20 minutes with it covered, and then I'm going to uncover it and give it a little stir. No gloves and mask necessary, just being careful with sanitation, that's all you gotta do. Alright, so let's grab that. You can rehydrate your yeast if you want, but it says here you can just pitch it onto the wort, so that's what I'm going to do. Right onto the foam, evenly, and the foam sort of rehydrates the yeast, in a way. And I just leave it there. I leave this, I can hear it. It's fizzing all like crazy, you know? So I just put the lid on that, Yeah, I'll just come back in about 15 or 20 minutes and I'll give that a stir. And I find that gives really, the last time I did that I had krausen up to here. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes and I'm going to lift this off. And you can still hear a little bit of stuff in there. Now I'm going to, once they've gotten themselves kind of accustomed to that, I'm just going to give this a good stir. You can see on the bottom, you might be able to see down there, I'm not sure, there's a layer that's already fallen down there. I like to give this all a good stir and get everything involved. Bottom and top both. We'll see what happens. Last time I did this, I had a huge fermentation. Very, very healthy. Okay, here we go, another brew down. Well, there goes another home brew video, and this time you're going to have to wait along with me for the taste test because I really did this sort of in real time. So in about 3.5 weeks, maybe closer to a month, I'll have that batch ready. I'm looking forward to tasting those hops. I've never had them before, and I'll tell you right now, the thing smells, the slight odor that's coming out of the fermenter is just, it's just beautiful. It's good. I tasted the wort. It was nice and sweet, had a great hop flavor, almost something you could put in a bottle and sell, just the way it was before you started fermentation. So it was really good that way. The final gravity was 1.044, and which is about where I thought it would be. And I just can't wait to try it. So in the meantime, I've got myself into a couple glasses of wine, and I'm just going to sit here and pretend I'm a rock star. This JTV crowd has kind of turned me into a bit of a rocker. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, having fun. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Take care. Cheers. Whoa, no, no, no. We don't want that. Get it back here, hot bag. Get back here. Alright, we're good. We got her. It's hot. Well, these are the kinds of things that happen, you know, when you're brewing. Let's put that around there a little bit. Yeah, we don't want that to fall in either. Yeah! Alright. And that won't even be a blooper. I think I need a longer spoon.